Hey guys, I'm Dr. Andy. Today I am joined by Jordan. She is one of the co-owners. Thank you, Jordan. She's one of the co-owners of Misfits Studio. It's a yoga studio in downtown Graham. Jordan, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Married a man with the last name Jordan, so that's always fun.
Did you know it was gonna be like love at first sight? Like he's got the last name Jordan, like have to marry him.
No, we had known each other since we were kids.
Really?
And when we started dating, it was like this running joke, like, oh, haha, if you get married, it'll be Jordan. And then sure enough, we actually got married. So
you've known him since you were a kid. When did you guys start dating?
Not until I was 21.
Okay.
So he was 6 years older than me, so it was always like a weird age gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to avoid the weird age gap until you're like in the 20s. Then it's become
exactly. Like yeah. Which, I mean, he didn't pay any attention to me until I was 20. So it worked. So yeah, that was when we started dating, and then we got married, I guess it was about 3 years later.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
How long ago was that then?
About 3 years ago. Yeah. So we dated for 3 years, been married for 3 years.
Okay.
Still going strong, hopefully. But yeah, I'm Jordan. I grew up in Graham, North Carolina, lived here my whole life, briefly left and went to UNC Chapel Hill. I studied sociology and psychology there.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, graduated, moved to Raleigh for a bit and tried the whole like working normal people jobs thing. And
fun.
Yeah, it didn't work out for me. So I became a yoga teacher, and here we are. I opened a yoga studio about a year and a half ago.
Hey, okay, so that's Misfit Studio. You guys originally opened in downtown Burlington, right?
Correct. And we were there for about 8 to 9 months before we moved to Graham.
You guys, how soon did you guys open up before COVID hit in downtown Graham?
We opened in mid-January, and then it happened 2 months later.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, there's no way to like put it other than
right.
It just really sucks. Yeah.
But you guys made a fantastic transition. I think you were the first yoga studio that I noticed that had immediately started to release. Did you guys have a YouTube station or YouTube channel, prior to COVID, or it was like COVID's hit, they're shutting us down, like we are launching our YouTube channel today?
Exactly. Yeah. I had always been very not anti online yoga, but it just like made me super nervous for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Wasn't my thing.
I feel the same way about like online, personal training.
It's weird. Yeah. And some people are great at it and thrive in that market, and that's awesome. But I had never wanted to do that.
But then like me, like people person, like got to be around people.
Yeah. I need to be in your face. It's weird to talk to a screen. Especially like for YouTube.
Hi, by the way, through the screen.
Hi. But at least here, there's like, you're on the other end. Like, I know you're watching, but with like YouTube, you're just in front of a camera and you're teaching to no one, it feels like.
Well, have you thought about doing more like Facebook Lives, or have you implemented the Facebook Lives?
We did. We do some Facebook Lives, which worked out in the beginning. It was really great. We had, 30 people would jump on and watch. I feel like now as time has progressed, people have kind of fallen off the wagon a bit in terms of
everyone started strong, right? Yeah,
they did, and it was exciting. It was new, and I mean, even for us, it was. And I feel like now we started offering some outdoor classes, and people.
I saw that.
Yeah, people seem much more intrigued by those now that they're available versus Facebook Live, and I get it. I like the outdoor classes better too. So
is this the outdoor class different from what you guys are going to be doing with Forgotten Road Sales, or is it the same one? Or just one of them?
So we're doing some at Bill Cook Park in Graham. Okay. They've been nice enough to let us use their space. And it's a giant area, so we can all spread out and do the whole social distancing thing, which is really great. And then Forgotten Road Ales was nice enough. One day we were there having a beer, and we were talking about yoga. And we've done beer yoga at Beer Co. in Graham for over a year now. We've been doing it there. They don't really have an outdoor space at Beer Co., so it's not feasible right now. But Forgotten Road Ales was like, hey, we have this awesome beer garden. You guys should just do yoga out here. So that one, people can drink beer while they do yoga. So it's a bit different. We don't take beer to all of our yoga classes.
Right.
But,
that's how I feel about like soft, like slow pitch softball. Like if it's like a competitive league where they're like, come out and we're going to play and we're going to try and win. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really interested. If they're like, it's a beer league, like drink beer in the outfield as you play. I'm like, I'm in. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I have a huge confession in that I don't think I've been to Forgotten Roads yet. Like I pass it. I know it's so close. And I pass it like every single time I go through that area. And I'm like, how come we haven't been yet? Like, oh, that's right. Like I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that I remember now.
Yeah. I have to admit, like I always felt really bad in downtown Graham for not supporting the bars more, just because we don't really go to bars that much. That's just not our thing. It was my thing 10 years ago, or not 10 years ago. I was 17, 10 years ago, but like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't go that much, but now Forgotten Rodale's just has this great outdoor space, and we went one day.
Beer gardens, and I want to go.
Yeah, you need to go, especially right now. They have it all like marked off, so it's safe. It seems very clean, and just I wouldn't feel comfortable going anywhere else without that type of outdoor space right now.
Yeah, I follow you exactly. So you're obviously full of passion. What is it that drives you and that got you into yoga? And that kind of like fuels your drive for Misfits. Cause I mean, like, I think everyone that owns a small business and does what they do, they have like something kind of deep inside them that fuels that drive. Like if my passion would be something like, I want everyone to have a pain-free active lifestyle. So it's not just about being pain-free. I want you to be active. I want you to be enjoying the things that you do, whether it's, you know, you started off like really unhealthy and that means that we were able to transition you just to like taking a 30-minute walk every day. Or if it's like you're an elite athlete and you just want to be able to perform at a higher level, like, God, that's what I'm all about. So what is it that drives you?
Really, as a kid, I was horrible at anything having to do with athletics. Like PE, I hated it. I used to try my best to get out of PE because I got laughed at. I always got picked last. Like it was awful. And as a kid, like that sits with you. And so I feel like because of those experiences, and it wasn't just an element, like it carried on. If you're like bad at sport, like that just, you're always going to be that awkward kid who can't kick a ball or hit a ball.
Right.
Or not always.
Were you the person that was like, it's time for like the mile and you just like purposefully walk it almost as like, that's your stance? Like I'm gonna walk.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would like purposefully like tell my coach, like really embarrassing things like, oh, like I have diarrhea. I can't do PE today. And he would be like, oh, please don't ever say that again. Like,
right. But now you're out of it. You don't have to do it.
But I was out of it. Yeah. So like I would purposefully do these things to get out of anything that involved physical fitness.
Yeah.
And then my siblings were like these star athletes. It was the weirdest thing. So, it was really like, it pushed me away from fitness my whole life.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be made fun of. I didn't want to like deal with people laughing at me. So I was just like, I swore it off. I was like, I'm just not going to do that. And then it was after I had just gotten out of college, I got really, really sick. And ended up in the hospital for about 3 weeks.
My gosh.
Or it was like 2 to 3 weeks. I don't even remember the exact number of days. And it was just sort of this wake up call of like, okay, just because you're young doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like a freak accident. I went into septic shock. It was like a whole weird thing, but it just kind of made me realize like, I need to take care of my body because, you know, without it, you can't really keep going. So then I had this idea of creating something that would make fitness more accessible to people who felt like me, people who felt like they couldn't. And that was where the whole idea for Misfits came from. I found yoga shortly after.
Oh, the name. I love it. Okay. Yes. Okay. I love that. That's a good story.
Yeah. I wanted it to be for the kids who didn't fit in, who didn't feel like they could go play sports or go to a gym out of fear of laughed at or whatever we all have some sort of fear holding us back, I think.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to create a space that was safe for people who had ever felt that. And yeah, that's
wonderful.
Kind of what drives me now.
Please tell me that story is like somewhere in your like marketing on your website or something like that, because that's something that needs to be shared, I think.
I think it's like a condensed version on the website, but yeah, it's on there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's just like, it's just, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So yoga, I feel like has really kind of taken the country by storm in the last decade, or maybe it's a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. So how have you seen yoga changing, you know, in the last 10 years, and how is it changing right now?
So I'm not going to lie. I only started doing yoga, I guess it was about 5 years ago.
Okay. Like most Americans.
Yeah, like most Americans. Yeah. And I actually found it not even necessarily because of the fitness aspect, but because of the mental health aspect.
Yes. I think that's one of my favorite parts of yoga.
Also good for your body. So, I mean, I was like, okay, whatever, win-win.
Yeah.
But since I have been, even in the, the 5, 6 years I've been doing it, the popularity thing, I mean, it's just started booming. It went from being, I feel like 10 years ago, you didn't really see yoga. I mean, you saw it in big cities. There might be a yoga studio or two.
Next to an Orange Theory.
Yeah, exactly. And that was it. And now, I mean, they're everywhere. Yoga is everywhere. But
do you feel like it's still on like the steep incline, or has it started to level off?
I feel like it started to level off, and I think that COVID has really changed the game for the yoga industry. It's all virtual now.
Right.
Which I had kind of noticed a trend in way more online yoga anyway.
Okay.
Just with the presence of, Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media platforms, you have all of these yoga influencers who are kind of taking, influencers, who are kind of taking over. And I mean, I have such mixed feelings because I feel like a lot of times those influencers is they're what brings people to yoga because they see someone on Instagram doing it and they're like, oh, hey, that's cool. I want to do that. But also sometimes they don't necessarily spread correct information. And,
sure.
Like,
so I have a beef with non-certified trainers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like
there's a lot of that.
Yeah, there was like, I'm skinny, like, let me show you how I did it. In a lot of ways, it's like, that's not healthy. Like,
no,
that's not,
yeah. And I see a lot of, in the yoga world, the influencers who are doing these crazy yoga poses that, I mean, they look really cool, but I feel like that portrays the image that to do yoga, you have to be able to like fold yourself into like this.
Like to be insanely flexible.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's not yoga.
That's like people that look at CrossFitters and they're like, I need to be in shape in order to start CrossFit. It's like,
yes. Yeah. I've had people say that before. Like, I need to lose weight before I can come to a yoga class. And I was like, please no, like, that's not true.
Right.
So
honestly, yoga is so fantastic Yoga's just so fantastic with like core stability. Like that is almost like what should be the foundation of anything you do from there. I mean, certainly if it talks about like getting your head in the right place in terms of your mental health and then core stability. I mean, like that should be the foundation of any kind of like fitness, path from there.
Yes, absolutely. So it's changing into much more virtual now. And I think we'll see.
You think it'll slingshot back?
I hope so. I hope that, I'm really hoping that this will be a catalyst for people to realize how important health is. And the fact
in terms of who's most at risk.
Exactly. Like, I'm really hoping that'll, this will help people once things do go back to maybe normal, whatever normal means. The new normal. Yeah.
The new normal. Right. Old normal's not coming back yet.
Yeah, exactly. Once things are back to that, I'm hoping people will realize like, hey, it's better to be proactive than reactive.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping this is like a wake up call for like the United States in
I hope
so many ways, from taking health seriously in terms of like a public health crisis. To making sure, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get political, but making sure people have like good paid sick leave, because in, traditional America, it's kind of like, or the old school America, it's kind of like fend for yourself. And so sick people go to work and no one wears a mask, right? When they are sick. So, I mean, if we kind of help people stay home and be protected when they're sick, I mean, it spreads disease like just so much less. And besides the whole like comorbidities or chronic lifestyle problems, right? So hopefully this is really kind of like lights the fire under our butts in terms of like, okay, like I got to take care of myself because look at what the threat is. And I think most people, they don't worry about those things because it's so far away, or they think it's so far away, right? Like the health decisions that you make for today is what affects tomorrow. And people are like, tomorrow's so far away. And like, I really like donuts. So like, I'm going to have this donut and I'm going to worry about my health later on.
Yeah. I mean, the 20 to 30 something year olds, I feel like we a lot of times feel like we're invincible, and it's fine to binge drink every night and eat all of the donuts and these things, but we don't think about the fact that like, okay, this is actually really affecting me. And also I just think there needs to be more conversation about preventative care versus, oh, well, you're sick.
Like real preventative care.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a difference between like healthcare. It's kind of crazy. Preventative care in the healthcare world is screening, which is like, okay, like, every year, it's crazy. That's not preventative. If you're screening, like you already have it,
To it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Preventative is like eating healthy,
Yeah.
Good nutrition, proper physical exercise. Like that's actually what preventative medicine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we have it all backwards.
We do.
Yoga can be confusing for like the non-experienced. Like I've done it probably a half a dozen times and I do love it. But every single time that I'm talking or I'm looking up like a new yoga studio for this or that, and I'm kind of like reading all of the different types of classes, I'm like, cool, no idea what that means.
Yeah.
So can you give us a breakdown of like the most popular or what people should look for, or what they might be interested in, or is it too complex?
Yeah. I mean, it's very complex. So originally, there were like 8 like main branches of yoga, and then we brought it to the Western world, and of course we had to make it way more complicated than it needed to be.
Sounds like
yoga
us.
wasn't originally even like a group practice. It was something you did by yourself as much more of like a meditative thing.
Okay.
And then we brought it here and we were like, hey, let's make money off of this. And now there are all sorts of like people who have made up their own styles of yoga. So, I mean, which is great. I love it. There's something out there for everyone, but it's definitely more convoluted than it used to be. And originally I think was intended to be. But here in the United States, at least, what you'll see a lot of is like, there are certain studios that are very alignment based, which I'm kind of against, but like your knee
more like postural.
Yes, they're more, or like they just focus on each pose needs to look this exact way. Like your knee needs to be here, your arm needs to be here, which I think is problematic because anatomy is just different on everyone. I'm not an anatomy expert, but I know for a fact that like we all have different bodies.
Oh, we're all asymmetrical. There's no such thing as like take 2 people and they look exactly the same. Each person also looks different side to side. Exactly.
So I feel like this idea that every single pose is going to look the same in everyone's body is just not right. So, but that's a thing, and there's nothing wrong with it inherently, but it's not really what we focus on. So there's alignment-based yoga. There's like vinyasa style yoga, which is much more like of a workout. It's like you're moving a lot, and you're moving from one pose to the other really quickly, and you won't break a sweat, which I think really great if that's what you're going. Like we do offer vinyasa style classes because some people really want that physical fitness aspect, and I actually really enjoy that too. And then you'll have the more like, it's called like yin, which is more focused on building flexibility. So you're holding poses for much longer. It's a much slower practice, and you're just kind of meeting your body where it's at and gaining flexibility over time.
So that one's more mobility based.
Exactly. And then you have like the more heavily like meditation based classes where you're really focusing on breathing and just getting into a good headspace and all that good stuff and connecting it with the movement. And then there's like, and then if you really want to get into it, you don't see this as much, especially in the South, but then there's like Kundalini type of yogas where you're like chanting and
how popular down here. I can see
no, but down here probably wouldn't go over so well. People would be like, oh, you need to go away with that.
Right. Seattle, Portland, maybe.
Yeah, you
New York City.
Much more of that.
Asheville, maybe.
Yeah, I think you could get away with it in, the more like hippie area for sure. I think that if we try to do that in Graham, people might try to shut down the studio or something. I don't know. So
Graham has its own problems right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I've done some classes with like chanting and mantras and things like that. And they're actually really powerful. I don't know what it is that it does to your brain, but they're incredible.
I can see it. Like I don't know I don't know like the physiological like mechanism.
Yes.
But absolutely like vocalization. can play
I
a
don't know
huge role
either,
mentally,
but there's something
emotionally, physically.
powerful about it. Yeah.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
I
It is.
remember like at the beginning of the class I went to, I was like, this is really weird. And I felt so uncomfortable. But then like by the end, it was like a 2-hour long class too. So I remember sitting there like, holy crap, what did I just sign up for? But then by the end of it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm enlightened. Like this is amazing. And
well, I wonder if part of it is like, because I mean, we are so kind of like restricted, maybe like we're taught to be quiet, to keep your voice down, to settle down, to not make too much noise. And maybe that's in some way kind of like releasing like a little bit of like pent up like energy or something like that. I don't know.
I think so. And there's something about doing something that weird and that uncomfortable with a group of people being like, you know what? We're all in this together.
Right.
We're all doing this really strange thing that we would never do in the normal world, but we're here and like we're in it and we're committed.
And if everyone else is doing it, like they're not going to hear my voice like louder than someone else. Unless like you like time it wrong and everyone stops and you're still screaming. That would happen to me. That would absolutely happen to me.
Yeah. Your eyes are closed and you're feeling it. You're just
I'm like in the zone. I'm in the zone.
Yeah, but it's great. What we teach at our studio though is kind of a combination of we do offer like the vinyasa style classes that are, you're going to break a sweat and you're moving a lot. And then we also offer more mobility based classes. And then some that are kind of a combination of the two. I love that.
That's probably the two biggest things that I try and preach in my practice would be movement, to build up some resistance, build up some resilience, right? In terms of getting stronger. And then the other one would be, just core stability. Focusing on movement.
You need both. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Like you can't be super flexible and not have any strength, or else you're going to injure yourself. It's just like, that's what's going to happen. And you can't be super strong without flexibility because again, you're just going to injure yourself. So
that's like the dudes at the gym, like that's, massive. Like all they do is they do like the little bit of chest press and they're just like, 3 inches off their chest.
Yes. And you see, I mean, we have a lot of like CrossFit people who come to do yoga and they're completely immobile because they have they're massive and super strong, but then they make one wrong move and they've torn something because there's no mobility there. So I'm like, you got to find the balance between the two.
Yeah. Working in the CrossFit industry kind of like for the last couple of years and really specializing and taking over, working on those types of patients, they do have very similar types of injuries. And it primarily comes from lack of mobility, going through a movement where they're pushing themselves a little too hard, maybe a little too fast, and they don't have the stability or the flexibility to maintain that position or be able to move through that movement, in a strong, stable way.
I have like yoga girls who are former gymnasts and they come in and they're hypermobile and have absolutely no strength to hold themselves up. And then again, they end up injuring themselves. So I try to preach it to both groups. I'm like, all right, we have to like find this happy medium of like, your body is great the way it is, but also there's a line between like safety, you have to be safe.
This is where something called FMS really kind of comes into place. It's called Functional Movement Systems, as well as the name of the company. And then they created something called the Functional Movement Screen, which is looking at 7 like fundamental movement patterns. And do you have the flexibility and do you have the stability to be able to control those movements? And if you have passing scores, it means like, okay, go ahead and feel free to load yourself in those positions. And if you fail any of them due to pain or lack of mobility, well, then you can work on these areas to make sure that you either strengthen them or stabilize them so you don't hurt yourself in the future. I love using the FMS with athletes. I think it really kind of provides direction for them and then kind of like a heads up, be careful doing these kind of movements.
Yes, I love that.
So what have you done to stay active during the pandemic? At home, I guess.
Lots of yoga.
Okay. I figured.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. For like the first month, I didn't really do much of anything.
Right.
And just being totally honest, my whole career is movement. So I went from teaching 4 classes a day. And I mean, when you're teaching yoga, you're also doing
it, right? Yeah.
Part. So I mean, I went from doing yoga 3-4 hours a day to having all of this free time. And I was just like, I'm gonna lay on my couch and watch Netflix and
catch up on the shows.
Yes, but then I quickly started to realize that that was not good for my health. So I did a lot of yoga because we started doing like the live classes on Facebook. So I had to be doing the yoga.
Yeah.
And we started going on a lot of hikes, which I really enjoy.
Yay.
Because to me, it doesn't feel like exercise. It does, like you're pushing yourself, but it's fun at the same time. Like you're out in nature.
Sure.
I am really bad at like anything cardio. So like I can run, but I choose not to.
Choose not to. I'm really good for a mile. Like I can run a mile like pretty fast and I'm just like, go. And I'm like, I'm not tired, I'm not winded, and I'm pretty fast. But after I get to a mile, I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. This is stupid.
Yeah. So it's hard. Running is hard. I admire runners. Like people who run and just go out and run 3 miles. I'm like, you are amazing. Props to you. So at
if
first,
you think like 3 miles is impressive, there's a couple of, like the marathon runners that I have here in the office. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Better you than me, man.
We tried running because my husband used to run cross country. And so he was like, we'll just start running since there's nothing else we can do right now. And I was like, okay. Did that for like
a lot of people have gone to running. I've seen an increase in running.
And it's great. It's great. For me though, I was like, this is not my form of cardio. Yep. So I would much rather go like climb up a mountain and do it that way. So that's what we've done a lot of.
I enjoy walks.
I love walking. Yeah,
I enjoy walking. I enjoy that. If you say like, we're about to go on a hike, we're going to do like 4 hours, 2 hours up the mountain, 2 hours back. And you'll be like, that sounds like misery. I'm like, my wife just looked at me like, how can you not enjoy that? That sounds like so great. And I'm like, you're going nowhere. You're working hard. Like you get to the top, you're supposed to enjoy the scenery, but you really just hang out there for like 5 minutes, like eat a snack. Yeah. And then you go back. I'm sure like my brother would be killing me for saying this right now. He loves hiking. My wife is killing me for saying this right now. I'm just
okay though. We all have our own.
But I like walking.
Yeah, walking is great. I love walking.
And just the idea of like for hours on end, like up a mountain. Like,
it is a lot. It can be. I'm more of like a 2-hour hike kind of gal.
Okay.
Like I'm not. I mean, I will do a long hike as well, but
yeah.
My husband's kind of like you are. If it's like 4 hours, he's like, no.
Well, there goes the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'll complain the whole time, which makes it not enjoyable for anyone.
No, I'm sure I would too. Exactly.
Yeah. But you got to have that guy. They make it fun. So. Yeah.
What do you think is like the most important aspect of health and fitness? I always talk about this with like personal trainers or CrossFit coaches, but I think you're so same and different. I think that your perspective on health and wellness is probably a lot more, might I say, like enlightened.
Yeah. I think it's finding what makes you happy.
Yes. Yes, I love that.
I think the way people take things so seriously and they think that they have to have it all figured out. Like I have to be keto or I have to be vegan and like it has to be this like restrictive, like you have to do this and you have to exercise every single day or else you suck. Like, and I hate that mindset that it's all or nothing, this or that. I feel like you have to find your thing. And that's what I tell people all the time is they're like, well, how do you stay so healthy? And I'm like, what works for me is not going to work for the next guy. Yeah. And that's okay.
If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it long-term.
Exactly. And that's why I tell people, like, if you come to a yoga class and you hate it every second of it, yoga is not your thing. Don't push yourself to like try. Like, people get this so stuck in the idea that they have to do something and then it becomes miserable. And that's not health and wellness. Like if you're miserable doing whatever exercise,
that's a great point.
Yeah, like if you're miserable doing your routine that you've picked, then that's kind of, I don't know, to me, it defeats the purpose.
Defeat the mental or emotional health
aspect of
it.
Which I would argue that if you're not mentally healthy, being physically healthy is kind of a moot point because, I mean, stress is like one of the #1 killers in the United States. I mean, you can't, I don't care if you're in tip-top physical condition, if you're chronically stressed out, it's going to take a toll on your physical health as well.
Very much so. Yeah.
So I think it's just finding what works for you. And that might not look the same every single day. I mean, I know for me, some days I eat a strict vegan diet and I do 3 hours of yoga. And then the next day I might watch Netflix for 5 hours and eat donuts all day. And that's okay. Like, I think it's
Work-life balance.
Exactly. It's all about balance. It's all about listening to your body. Now, if your body tells you to eat McDonald's every day, maybe your body needs to be reprogrammed a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it might tell you that, but that's because
exactly.
your biochemistry has changed. Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's just finding balance and finding what works for you personally and just not taking it so seriously. I hate the restriction idea that seems to be so like prevalent in our society right now, that there's a magic pill or a magic diet or a magic workout routine that's just going to fix all of your problems and make it all better.
You must have great conversations with Leslie Williams.
I love Leslie.
I know. I do too. I love her so much. Yeah.
Yes. She's great.
Yeah. You'd be preaching right to her on that one. She would probably love everything that you're saying right now. That's awesome. I was actually, my next question was going to be like, let's say like someone is about to start their health and wellness journey. They recognize they need to make changes in their life due to watching what's going on with COVID or anything like that. Watch what happens with loved ones or anything. And they want to make changes. Like, where do they start? And I think you kind of nailed it, like right on the head of like, you're going to have to try a bunch of different things probably at first to find out what you enjoy. Because anytime someone comes in my office and they ask like, what should I do to lose weight? Or like, what kind of cardio should I do? I'm like, well, number one, most important thing is to find out what you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it tomorrow. It's never going to stick.
And starting slow. I see people all the time that they're like, on a Wednesday, they're like, I'm going to start running. And then on Thursday, they think that they're going to go run a 5K. Yeah.
I'm going to fix my diet and start CrossFit on the same day.
Yeah. And that's just going to overwhelm you and you're going to get discouraged and you're going to quit. And I'm just like, no, start with like 30 minutes a day. Do something. Just walk for 30 minutes a day and maybe switch out one meal a day with something healthy and then go from there.
I tell people that are like completely at the beginning of their wellness kind of journey, their health and wellness journey, that haven't done anything before. I always say you make someone else clean the dishes and you take a 30-minute walk after dinner, because we as Americans, we're active all day for the most part, right? And then we have the largest meal of the day for Americans is typically dinner, right? Yeah. And then we have like 12 straight hours of complete sedentary lifestyle, right? You eat dinner, then you're going to sit on the couch, watch TV, and then you're going to bed until next morning. And so you're having the largest meal and then you're doing absolutely nothing for 12 hours. So I'm like, change that up a little bit, have that meal and then make someone else clean the dishes, perfect excuse. And then take a 30-minute walk. That's like, each weekday night. And that's perfect. That's a great place to start.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah.
So Jordan, where can everyone find you?
All of the social media platforms, of course. So we're on Facebook, Instagram. We don't have a Twitter. I don't know how to Twitter, but so Facebook and Instagram.
I have Twitter. I don't think I actually post anything on that. Yeah. And every single time I go on Twitter, Twitter's trying to get me to follow Trump. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get political.
Oh yeah. He's probably like the #1 user. I don't know.
I think he might be. I mean, well, congratulations on that one.
Probably is. Yeah. So yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram is Misfit Studio, and there's like an NC behind it just because
Misfit Studio NC. Okay.
Yes. And then we also have a website, misfitstudio.com.
Okay.
And we're on YouTube now. So you can find the link to our YouTube on our website. There's like an online yoga tab, or you can just search Misfit Studio and it should pop up on YouTube as well.
Perfect. Okay. Then
you can come to outdoor classes right now too. They're all free.
When do you have them?
So as of right now, we're doing them every weekday. So Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Okay. And then we're also doing them Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. And those are all at Hoewyk Park in Graham, and 100% free, open to anyone and everyone.
Do they need to sign any paperwork, like a waiver or anything like that beforehand?
Yes. So we ask that you sign up online on our website, or there's a MindBody app where you can sign up and fill out a waiver on either way. If you're like anti-technology, you can also just show up and we'll just make you fill it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So
awesome. Well, that's easy. Yeah. No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jordan. Any last words for me or anyone?
No, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Oh, this was fun. All right, Jordan, thank you guys so very much. That is Jordan from Misfit Studios in downtown Graham. Thank you very much, Jordan.